Good evening, everybody. Jason here for AxodysFC, and we have some big news. Actually, a new signing that wasn't really expected. I saw some mention of it yesterday, actually, and then I forgot to mention it. I think, or just glossed over it if I did. But word started coming out, and then basically we got confirmation today that the deal was done. Tottenham signed a young Argentinian striker, 19-year-old, named Alejo Véliz, and very highly regarded. Has about 19 goals and 38 appearances, I want to say, since 2021 with Rosario Central. And anyway, the highlight footage that I saw looked pretty promising today. He has a pretty big frame, and yeah, he had some good headers, some good longer shots in the clips I saw. Basically saw the whole, or seemed to show a lot of all-around ability, and the reviews I've heard from people that know a little bit more about him, like Tom Spurs on Twitter, who's an Uruguayan who knows a lot about South American players, had a nice thread today and really covered his strengths and weaknesses, and felt like, yeah, he is really good with his head in the air. Maybe not so good with decision making on when to take long shots or not, but just very, very skilled and promising. The one thing and it sounds like he's coming straight to Spurs. There was some question of would he, go back on loan until December. Sounds like he's just coming to play, or at least work with the team, presumably. Yeah, the chances of him just just getting a regular playing time with the first team seems unlikely. The other issue too, that we don't really know about, is does he have any English at this point? It will be definitely a shock to adjust to England and the Premier League and that kind of thing, coming out of Argentina as a 19-year-old. And it's great actually that we have a few Argentinian players in Lo Celso and Romero. They can take him under their wing, but definitely I think this one's more for the future, I would expect. And the other thing is, the Ashley Phillips is progressing. We've definitely kind of got some really promising young players. Someone on one of the YouTubers I was watching, talked about, are we kind of putting together our Tottenham equivalent of like United's 92 generation or whatever. And that would be cool if that turns out and all these young players end up being really, really good and breaking through. And we've still got, other players already in the academy, like Divine, and Udagi actually is pretty young too. And so yeah, I like the future potential we've got kind of coming together now. Certainly. The other related note, I guess, or the thought that I have is potentially, I am curious to see if a player like Véliz, though, could break in with some of those end of game minutes. We have yet to really see how Ange will substitute in games with our team, but at Celtic, he was definitely using all of his substitutions, and he was giving his strikers, 60 to 70 minutes tops, and then he was bringing in someone else because that position's working so hard throughout the game. So, yeah, I am curious if that is a better scenario for a young striker where you can bring him in to close out games, or um, not put that full pressure on him, but give him that opportunity to take advantage of tired legs and just come in for a quick finishing burst, get that experience. So yeah, I look forward to seeing how that plays out. The It's interesting too. I had watched some other clips of there was another young striker playing in Belgium, Gift Orban, I believe is his name, who is also someone people were discussing as maybe what we were interested in. I imagine now that we have Alejo, that's all we're going to get in that department. But it was interesting to see his Orban's to me didn't look as well rounded. Like most of his goals were coming like point blank, and he had some pretty good finishes where he just found the right spot and the ball came to him and he put it away. But it didn't seem like he was as complete a striker to me as Véliz did in his videos. So I'm curious to see what happens. He's supposed to come in for medical and on board this weekend, I guess, so within a day or two. So yeah, and on the rest of the team's front, they're still working on Van der Ven, and it sounds like it's still in the works. And actually, Daniel Levy is giving it his attention as well. So odds are something will happen soon. But and I'm looking forward to the game. Of course, I have to figure out where I can watch the Shakhtar game, if I can or not. So the other topics, let's see. So Frank Kessié still is a possibility in the midfield too. He has 3 choices, it sounds like. Could still go to Juve. Saudi Arabia is a possibility, and of course us. So we'll see. I haven't really heard anything further other than they're all possibilities and nothing's been ruled out, essentially. So I did see the initial bid apparently for David Raya from Arsenal, £23 million. So, I mean, I haven't heard what Brentford's response is yet, but I have to believe that they would laugh at that, right? If they wanted 40 million from Tottenham, how is 23 suddenly okay? There's a lot of time left in the until the window closes, so there's no way they're going to just accept that now, right? Well, we'll see. Is it the thing where Tottenham always has a different deal than seemingly everybody else? I don't know. Feels that way at times, but we'll find out if they remain committed to that price point. Last thing is in the World Cup, as bad as the U.S. had played, and they made it through at least. Germany, number 2 ranked, looked great in the Euros. Had the biggest point differential in their group, but lost because they drew with South Korea and did not advance. Morocco, who they beat like 6-0 to get that massive point differential, advanced with a win. And what a crazy tournament, but great from a competitive standpoint. And it will be interesting, see what the fallout for Germany is like. I imagine their manager will get fired after that. It's a ruthless business. So anyway, exciting to get some new movement on the transfer scene even though it was completely unexpected. Maybe that's the best kind anyway. And look forward to seeing what happens in the next day or two. So on that note, I'm going to call it a wrap. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys again soon. And remember, to dare is to do.